Hello again everyone, we are once again back in line, and today we shall be doing set G. I've looked through both the palettes, and I don't really care for any of the palettes other than Deep Space. It's one of the few ones that I actually care for because, quite honestly, the other ones don't really look that good. The palettes will change both the background colors, as well as the color of these icons and lines that you're going to draw, and quite a few of them aren't necessarily that good of a color scheme in my opinion. Some people might like them. I personally don't really care for them, but it is a situation where I mean, you can use them if you want to, but the Deep Space just looks so much more clean. It's a little bit easier to see what you're doing. So I'll be using this palette instead. And one of the things I would like to actually see in this game, if it can be implemented at all, is adding like user-submitted levels or something like that, where you're allowing users to create additional content or stuff like that. That I believe really would help add to this game. It's not necessarily necessary for the game in order for it to succeed or survive. It's just something that would be nice to have for LYNE that make it even better than it already is. But it's not. But again, it's not necessarily game-breaking or completely necessary in any way. So there's no if the implementation doesn't make sense, then there's no reason to have it. But I would like to see a little bit more complexity, because right now the most I've seen is just sets where there's 3 lines, and this one so far from set G is just 2 lines. So a little bit more complexity would be nice to add, hopefully later on. I've only unlocked through set M so far, although checking set M real quick, that still is only so many lines, so it's not quite there yet from a full standpoint of having necessarily everything. But it's good enough as it is, and it is a minimalistic game, so there doesn't have to be all this grandiose action and everything like that for it to be good. It's good on its own. It's interesting because, especially with LYNE, I don't necessarily get a feeling of complete repetitiveness that I've gotten from doing previous puzzle games or things of that nature. Like, for example, with one of the things that comes to mind is Rubik's Cubes. Those are fun to do, but the thing with Rubik's Cubes is they're very much just memorizing a certain set of moves. Because honestly, with the Rubik's Cube, if you have the move set memorized, it's just knowing which pattern works for that, what pattern to follow. Because it's just, oh, this is how the cube looks right now, so I do this set of moves to move that particular piece there, and it's all fine and good, and that's how it's solved. While it can seem difficult, it wasn't really on. It didn't really provide that much difficulty on a high level. So it was something that was kind of just like, it got old fairly quickly. I mean, it was the same for me. It was the same thing with the Sudoku puzzles, where it's just kind of going through the exact same thing over and over and over, and just kind of gets stale after a while. But whereas with LYNE, I don't really get that. I mean, it's something where I just kind of see what the level looks like, and then I kind of do it. There's no real pattern that I've settled into yet, or that I extensively use. So that makes it a little bit more interesting, just from knowing, just because it's kind of every different level set's new and it's refreshing, and it doesn't take a super extensive amount of effort to play the game, because it's just kind of at my own pace. I do what I just do what I feel comfortable doing, and that's how it goes. So, because I mean, once you, especially with Sudoku for me, it got to the point where it's just kind of the same thing over and over and over. You're just like, oh, well, I've done this so many darn times before that it's just this pattern again, and it's nothing new. It's just kind of there. It doesn't provide any real enjoyment or excitement. I mean, it's not going to be super exciting anyways, because you're just kind of you're doing a puzzle game. You're not really shooting somebody or doing something with a high amount of action. You're kind of it's a more mellow experience than a lot of action-packed gaming that is so prevalent in today's games and all that. Where it's high-paced line action, you gotta kill somebody, you gotta do this. There's so many different things that are going on that playing minimalistic games can kind of bring back a little bit of the what do I want to say here? Bring back a little bit of the just nostalgia of simpler games or simpler kind of enjoyment where you don't necessarily have to have all these crazy things in order to have fun. And fun can be anything. It doesn't have to be everything all at once or super involved in order to be a great experience for whoever's trying to enjoy it. So, how am I going to do this here? The left line's going to have to come out and it's going to have to go like that. So, just follow the line again. So again, that's, I mean, I really feel like I'm just blabbering about now with trying to find something to talk, but it's really become a situation where games, especially nowadays, are so defined by just constant amounts of, oh, I have to do this, or I have to do this in a certain amount of time, or whatever. And things like that, where it's like, okay, yeah, it's a challenge and it can be a challenge and competitive nature can be enjoyable, but it's so much prevalent in today's games that it's being able to kind of relax with a game like this where doesn't have to be a time trial mode, you don't have to be the absolute greatest at everything. It doesn't have to be a situation where it's like, oh, I've got to do this exactly perfect, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not skilled enough in order to do this effectively, but it's just kind of, let's just sit back, get back to just the entire point of what games are about, is having fun and enjoying what you're doing. And that's honestly the most important part of doing anything for enjoyment, is being able to really sit back and say, hey, I enjoy doing this, I really like doing this, and I can get fun instead of having to be pressured to constantly perform at a high level where everybody's judging you, you're trying to get so high on the leaderboards, whatever. It's just, that can be a grind. That can be a definite grind and it can stress you out. So being able to play games like this where it's not so much of, I've got to succeed, I've got to be the best, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And it's just, hey, you enjoy what you're doing. More so than just, oh, I've got to be the best person at X and such and such, or whatever, I'm not good enough, or Alright, so, on that plot, I've got to draw a line through it twice. I'm actually not sure how this is supposed to work. Because I can't just go here because there's no way back. So, how indeed? It's probably gonna have to go like that. Or something along those lines. So like that. There's no other way to really fill that octagon twice, so that kind of makes it easy from there on out. There we go. There's a lot of times with, especially in today's gaming, there's a lot of just hyper-competitive nature, regardless of whatever game you're playing, whether it's a simple game like Flappy Bird, where it's like, oh, I've got to be the highest level in score or whatever, or something like that. My friend has a higher score than me, so he's doing better than I am. There's just a lot of competition that's built into video games these days, and while that can be good, that can be good from a situation of people playing a lot more against each other, or whatever you may consider it. It can be incredibly stressful in a situation where you really just want to play games to have fun, because that's the entire point of playing video games, to be honest. We all want to have fun. We want to get away from whatever we're doing for a little while, and there's just there's professional video game players out there, but honestly, if they didn't enjoy doing it and having fun while they're doing it, win or lose, they wouldn't be doing it either. I mean, obviously everybody wants to win. That's just part of who we are as human beings. But it doesn't always have to be that way. It doesn't always have to be crazy, I have to be the best at something. Being able to play minimalistic puzzle games like this are relaxing and refreshing is nice once in a while. Anyways, there is set G, so next time we'll be doing set H. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please click the like button. If you want to be caught up to date on when new walkthrough sets come out, then please subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, you guys have a good day.